The night was loud, the kind of Friday evening where a small-town bar came alive with rowdy laughter, slamming mugs, and the sound of an old jukebox fighting to stay relevant. Neon signs flickered against the rain-streaked windows, and the smoky air was thick with the scent of spilled beer, fried food, and worn-out lives. At one corner, seated quietly at a booth, was Sarah Miller. She wasn't dressed to impress, no glitter, no heavy makeup. Just a faded denim jacket and a plain shirt underneath. Her hands, roughened by years of hard work, held a glass of water more than the beer the bartender had offered. She wasn't here to party. She wasn't here to be noticed. Sarah had carried herself through battles most people couldn't imagine, yet she blended into the background, like she didn't matter. People passed by her without even a glance. She was used to it. After all, she had lived the last few years in shadows, quiet, forgotten, holding on to memories that still haunted her every night. That was when they walked in, a group of bikers, loud, wild, full of arrogance. Their leather vests clanged with chains, and their laughter shook the tables. The bar seemed to grow smaller when they entered. Most of the regulars turned their heads away, not wanting trouble, but trouble had a way of finding its target. One of them, a broad-shouldered man with tattoos running down his arms and a scar cutting across his jaw, spotted Sarah sitting alone. He grinned in a way that made the other bikers chuckle. They thrived on intimidation, on making the quiet ones feel smaller. He swaggered over. "Well, what do we got here? Too good to join the party," he sneered, looming over Sarah. She didn't flinch. She simply shook her head softly. "Just here for some peace." Her calmness only fueled his need to provoke. "Peace? In a bar like this?" He laughed. "Nah, sweetheart, you were in the wrong place." The others started watching, waiting for the entertainment they thought was about to unfold. Then, without warning, the biker grabbed the front of Sarah's shirt and yanked it. The sound of fabric tearing pierced through the laughter. For a moment, time stopped. Gasps echoed through the bar as her jacket slipped off her shoulders and her plain shirt tripped enough to reveal something beneath, something no one had expected. On her chest, stretched proudly across her heart, was a bold, inked emblem of the United States Marine Corps. The eagle, globe, and anchor glistened under the dim bar lights, not as decoration, but as a mark of sacrifice, of honor, of battles fought and endured. The biker froze. His smirk disappeared. The laughter around him died into silence. Sarah rose slowly, steady and calm, her eyes meeting his without a hint of fear. Her voice was low, but it carried enough weight to silence the entire room. "I wore this uniform while you were hiding behind bar stools," she said firmly. "I've seen men bleed out in the sand. I've carried brothers home who never made it back. You think tearing a woman's shirt makes you powerful?" The bar was still. The biker's grip loosened, as if the tattoo itself had burned his hand. His bravado crumbled in front of the quiet storm standing before him. Someone from the back whispered, "She's a Marine." Another voice added, "Show some respect, men." And just like that, the tide turned. The crowd, which had moments ago been ready to laugh, now stood in Sarah's corner. The biker stumbled back, trying to gather his pride, but there was no saving face. His own crew looked at him with disappointment. He had picked the wrong target. Sarah didn't raise her voice, didn't need to. Her presence was enough. She pulled her jacket back over her shoulders, as if to remind the room that she wasn't looking for a fight. She never had been, but the act of kindness came, not from Sarah, it came from the people who had witnessed her quiet strength. The bartender, a man who had seen countless bar fights over the years, walked over and set a fresh drink in front of her. "On the house, ma'am." "For your service." Others began nodding, clapping softly at first, then louder, until the whole bar erupted in applause, not the wild, drunken kind, but the kind filled with gratitude, respect, and a little bit of shame for ever having stayed silent before. Sarah's eyes watered, but she quickly blinked it away. She wasn't used to gratitude. She had come home from war to find herself invisible. But tonight, in the smoky bar, where she had been just another face in the crowd, she was seen. She was honored. As for the biker, he lowered his head, muttered something under his breath, and walked out. His crew followed, some shaking their heads at him. The bar didn't miss their absence. Sarah sat back down, her hands trembling slightly. Not from fear, but from the sudden wave of emotion. For the first time in a long time, she felt something she hadn't known. She was missing community. The man at the next table leaned over. "Semper Fi," he said softly. Sarah managed a small proud smile. Semper Fi. The night carried on, but it wasn't the same anymore. That little bar, for one evening, became a place where a quiet woman's strength reminded everyone that true power doesn't come from fear, but from sacrifice, honor, and kindness. And as Sarah left, the crowd parted for her, clapping once more. She walked out into the rain, head held high, heart a little lighter than it had been in years, because sometimes, it takes a single moment, a single act, to turn pain into pride.